defending team leader of the defending team, Cadet Shafin.
Thank you, respected moderator. Now, I'll be taking the floor, and as the final speaker of my team speaking from the motion, I'll be wrapping up this debate. So let's return to the heart of the matter. Throughout this discussion, we've been examining the topic, technology-based education is limiting the students' knowledge aspirations from various angles. But at its core, this debate is actually about bringing my dear opponent's mindset to the right path by agreeing to join with us in saying that indeed, it is technology-based education which is limiting the students' knowledge aspirations. August presence, Assalamu alaikum. At first, let me start off by saying that both the speakers of my team had left a bunch of questions for my dear opponents to answer. But unfortunately, most of them were left unaddressed. I sincerely hope that me and my team won't be left curious for answers by the time our learned opponents have ended all their logic. Respected moderator, I think we can all agree that the speakers of our opponent's team have been beating about the bush for quite a long time now. Their first speaker has said that technology-based education attracts, motivates, and also helps the students in acquiring knowledge. Dear opponents, we never denied that technology can help you in acquiring knowledge. But come to the main point here. The ease of accessing information right at our fingertips deprives us from delving deeper into the subjects. Whereas, suppose we search for the information from maybe a book or in the traditional way, we would have to go through so many different pages, and we would definitely come across many other sources of information as well. And this would greatly enhance our knowledge. So can't we get the taste of how much technology is actually limiting our knowledge here, my dear opponents? Question remains. Moving on, the second speaker of my opponent's team talked about how technology can also enhance students' creativity level. But research shows the opposite. August presence. On the 5th of February 2023, the Daily Star reported that the ChatGPT-3 technology, which I think we are all familiar with, was one of the ways in which students misused it to complete their assignments without actually understanding the concepts or the problem-solving strategies involved in it. And this led them to a lack of critical thinking and problem-solving skills as well. My dear opponents, please note it that this technology itself was invented by mankind. We were behind the invention of this technology. So why would we depend on an invention's intelligence when we have the brain for it ourselves? I expect our opponent's third speaker to please answer my question. Respected moderator, we must also acknowledge the benefits of technology-based education as well. Jenny Arledge, a dedicated and motivated career and technical education educator with 3 years of leadership experience and 20 years of classroom teaching, has quoted that technology can become the wings that will allow the educational world to fly further and faster, but only if we allow it. And this is the reason why we don't deny that technology-based education has its benefits as well. But in this case, my dear opponents, the negative impacts of technology-based education outweigh the positive impacts by a massive extent. And let me give you an example. In 2014, Manfred Spitzer, a German neuroscientist, gave a full account of the risks of adopting technology in education and also warned against its potential negative impacts on students' achievements. He added that students do not learn from ebooks the same fashion they do from printed books or magazines. I repeat, they do not learn from ebooks the same fashion they do from printed books or magazines. And in the same year, Kathleen Bonwicki, a renowned author, adopted a similar viewpoint, namely that students had become lazy because of their heavy and also daily reliance on technology. Now, honestly speaking, even after hearing all these points, I don't understand how my dear opponents are still standing firm against the motion here. Now, let me talk about how technology-based education can also hamper our interpersonal skills. We know 3 skills are very much needed for the students to be efficient in the classroom according to the Cambridge University Press. And these 3 skills are discipline, concentration, and at last, communication. Now, technology-based education also replaces or reduces face-to-face interactions. Interpersonal skills such as nonverbal communication, body language reading, and the ability to establish rapport are best developed in real-life interactions. But if we over-rely on digital communication, this can lead to a lack of proficiency in these areas. Interpersonal skills also include conflict resolution, negotiation, and at last, compromise. But in the online environments, the absence of immediate feedback and the impersonal nature of text-based communication may hinder the development of these skills. Now, my dear yet stubborn opponents might suggest that technology-based education is irrelevant to the interpersonal skills, but let me prove you wrong. As I already said, according to the Cambridge University Press, 3 skills are very much needed for the students to be efficient. And guess what, my dear opponents? All of these 3 skills were hampered at a staggering rate of 42%, 27%, and 31% due to the use of technology in education. So tell me, my dear opponents, does it not make interpersonal skills an important subject for acquiring knowledge as well? Please do answer. Respected moderator, United Nations, the biggest organization of the whole world, has warned that heavy reliance on technology in education may be unproductive or even detrimental if it interferes with the acquisition of basic skills. And then again, Marcus Antoinus, one of the directors of UNESCO, has quoted that there is little robust evidence of technology's added value in education. So, my dear opponents, when the biggest organization of education themselves are complaining about the use of technology in education, then why can't you accept the reality? So at the very end of my speech, I'm inviting our dear opponents to join with us and tune with us that indeed it is technology-based education which is limiting the students' knowledge aspirations. With this, I'd like to conclude my speech here. Thank you, August presents, for your patience hearing.
Now enter the rebuttal phase, which is a small slot that will be given to both the teams to put their concluding arguments or remarks. And for that, I call upon Cadet Shafin to take the floor to speak for his rebuttal for the motion.
Thank you, respected moderator, for once again giving the floor. Hearing all the points of my opponent speakers, who were just straddling the fences without actually focusing on the main points, are nothing but just a great ridicule. The opponent's first speaker has said that 97% students drop out from schools because of social degradation. Then again, our opponent's third speaker has also said that 80% students drop out from school. Then what are your sources, my dear opponents? And then again, my dear opponents, your first speaker has said that technology-based education had helped the students to get the teachers to get an overview of the improvement of the students during the COVID period. But let me prove you wrong, my dear opponents. During the COVID-19 situation, the whole world, including our country, completely depended upon technology-based education. But what is the result here? The result is that the government had to give auto pass to the board examinees and also shorten the syllabus for board exams as well, because the students had hardly any academic improvement during this period. And also, this technology inspired the younger generation to pass their valuable time in playing PUBG, taking snaps, and also sharing personal photos and creating TikTok videos. My friends, is this your so-called aspiration of knowledge? Then again, dear opponents, if you really think that technology-based education can do everything, then why have you come here from Shoryatpur, such a distant part of the country? You could have just attended this debate from virtual media such as Zoom or even Google Meet, but you did not do so, because we know and everyone knows that real-life interaction is way more important than that of virtual ones, and that is the point we are focusing on. Yes, my dear opponents, we have used internet, laptops, smartphones to prepare ourselves for debate, but you have also done it. But is it for your knowledge aspiration? If you did not have this competition, would you do it? Because most people use internet to get desired information easily. It is a shortcut path. I am repeating myself. It makes it easier for us to get information, not increase our desire for knowledge. And this is the point we are also focusing on. Most students read books only to pass the exam to get certificate. But people like Arozali Matapur, Kazi Nazru, and also Robindran also read books out of knowledge to which aspiration which technology cannot perform. So at the very end of my speech, I'm once again suggesting my dear opponents to please move along with us and say that indeed it is technology-based education which is limiting the students' knowledge aspirations.
And now, so both teams tried their best. The defending team does their best as well as the opposing team. But at the end of the day, we do have a result coming from the honorable judges, and I have the pleasure of announcing them. The winning team of today's debate is Faujdarhat, Cadet College, Shafin. My congratulations to the team and wish you all the best. And now the best speaker for this event is Cadet Shafin, the team leader of the day. Thank you very much, honorable guests and speakers, and also the honorable judge and the host. I'd like to conclude this session. Thank you very much.